What did your sibling do to reveal their monstrous nature? My older sister Rachel literally destroyed an innocent kid's life just because she didn't want to share our parents' attention. When I was 14, my mom and dad decided to foster this 15-year-old kid named Caleb. He was super quiet and shy, always kept his head down. You could tell something bad had happened to him before he came to us. He barely spoke the first week, just ate dinner in silence and stayed in his room most of the time. Rachel was 17 and absolutely hated him from day one. She'd make these nasty comments under her breath whenever he walked by. "Why did they bring this loser here?" she'd whisper to me. "We don't need some random kid taking up space." I thought she was just being a typical bratty teenager, but it got way worse. About 3 weeks after Caleb moved in, my mom's wallet disappeared from the kitchen counter. She was freaking out because it had like $200 in it plus all her cards. Rachel immediately pointed at Caleb. "I saw him looking at it earlier when mom went upstairs," she told my parents. Caleb swore up and down he didn't take it, but Rachel kept insisting she saw him near the counter. My parents wanted to believe him, but they searched his room anyway. They didn't find anything, but the doubt was planted. I could see it in their faces whenever they looked at him after that. A few days later, my dad's watch went missing from his dresser. Again, Rachel was quick to blame Caleb. He was asking about it at dinner last week, remember? Said it looked expensive. My dad did remember Caleb asking about the watch, but it was just innocent curiosity. Still, 2 missing items was looking pretty suspicious. The whole family started acting different around Caleb. Mom would count her change after grocery shopping. Dad locked his office door when he wasn't home. Even I started doubting him, which makes me feel sick now. Only person who still treated him normal was me, and even I was getting confused. Late one night, I couldn't sleep and went downstairs to get some water. That's when I saw Rachel sneaking into Caleb's room with a backpack. I hid behind the wall and watched her stuff things inside it. She pulled out mom's wallet and dad's watch from her own room and shoved them in there along with some other random stuff from around the house. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. My own sister was framing him. The next morning at breakfast, Rachel announced she'd found all the missing stuff in Caleb's backpack. She even fake cried about how disappointed she was. My parents were devastated. Caleb just sat there shaking his head, saying over and over, "I didn't take anything. I swear I didn't take anything." I pulled Rachel aside after and confronted her. She didn't even try to deny it. She just smirked at me and said, "What, you gonna defend the little thief? He's not even your real brother. When he's gone, mom and dad will actually have time for us again instead of worrying about some damaged kid all the time." I was so horrified I could barely speak. I told my parents everything I saw, but Rachel started crying and accused me of lying to protect Caleb. She said I was just jealous that she found the stuff and I didn't. My parents didn't know what to believe anymore. The foster agency had to investigate. They interviewed everyone, searched the house, the whole deal. But there wasn't enough evidence to prove Rachel planted everything. It was basically her word against mine, and Caleb's history of being in the system worked against him. 3 weeks later, Caleb was moved to another foster home. I remember him hugging me goodbye and whispering, "Thanks for believing me," in my ear. I felt like the biggest failure in the world. Rachel acted all relieved after he left. She got her old room back, our parents' full attention, everything she wanted. She never once admitted what she did or showed any guilt about it. Years later, I found out through social media that Caleb had run away from his next placement and ended up in juvenile detention. Last I heard, he aged out of the system and was living in some halfway house.